mean, my black experience with racism is far, in many cases, far timider, or for lack of a better word, than many other people. Like I've never had a cop with his neck on my neck.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was his knee on my neck. I've
Yeah.
never been to jail. I've never been, you know, I lead a pretty good life, and I'm very fortunate. I feel very fortunate. You know, and you know, I think in some senses the reason why I became an actor, a voice actor. I was one of the first black pilots, black people to become a pilot in Boundary Bay Airport, which
Wow.
was which
I want
was
to talk
like,
to you about that, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah, I never knew you were a pilot. That's
but
amazing.
is because I saw, well, you know, look how Denzel Washington gets treated. Like, wow, he's great. Athletes, it's like athletes, actors, singers, and celebrities. You know, if you're black and you have something to offer as in entertainment, then you're known as, you're accepted. But if you're just black, well, what do you got for me? You know, I'm not saying this is everybody's mentality, but often it's I've learned to be extremely intuitive to subtleties. For example, standing in line, returning a faulty product or something like that, or you know, customer help desk. The person in front of me, and it happens often. The person in front of me often is a white person. Hello, sir. How are you? How may I help you today? Well, this is broken. Blah blah blah. Okay. Oh, I'm very sorry. Hear this. And take care and have a good day. I walk up. What's going on, man? What's up? And I'm like,
Why?
yeah. And it's like, yeah, like again, why all of a sudden? Oh,
the shift
now I
of,
can
like-
relax. No, you know. And it's like, and I'm, excuse me. And they're like, I'm either uppity or, oh well, you're a, you know, how would you feel if someone came up to you and said, you know, you speak really well. You speak really well.
Wow.
I want to say
course
thank
it'd
you.
be-
I want to say thank you, but I want to say, for, you know,
Why are you complimenting me on that? Or,
yeah. How did you think I would? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the times where it's like, I gotta say to myself, Dean, it's not worth it.
Pick your
It's
battles.
it's just not worth it. But now the way things are going, this is the time to speak about all of this stuff that I have been putting away for so long.
Yeah.
But you know, it hurts. It really hurts. And I think this is the first time I'm actually admitting it to myself vocally. We have a internal dialogue, but this is, to hear myself say it is actually quite cathartic.
That's awesome, dude. That's very powerful.
Yeah.
Has there been
Thank you.
Has there been times throughout your life, because just listening to the journey that you've been on, it's hard enough to be human. It's hard enough to, you know, be a spouse and raise children and have a career and have friends and do things and keep your body healthy, and like there's a million things just to be a human that's hard.
Yeah.
You know, we're all insecure, we got stuff going on, but then you got to deal with that, the racism component outside of that, which is, and I can, just hearing you, I would get incredibly tired of it. Like,
It's
exhausting.
exhausting.
Has there been times where you've been like, I'm done. I'm effing sick and tired of, and then you have to kind of go, okay, well, hold on a second. I can't change who I am. So I just got, like, has there been times where you've been like,
Well, I've realized that I'm a good person and I love myself, and I would never want to change. I've always, when I was younger, I always wanted to, like, and this is another thing, like, I never saw, my favorite doll was G.I. Joe, but I never saw a black G.I. Joe. And I never even considered there would be a black G.I. Joe until later on. But to not see a representation of yourself would make me feel like secondary. And that's another systemic thing. You know, it's just, it is a lot. But I mean, you know, it happens, but I definitely feel we're working towards a better place, a better way.
Yeah. I mean, just things like, when Obama got in, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
That changed. That was a change. Especially in the U.S. How what was that like for you to see him get in? And
I thought it was great, and I also thought it was great that he was there for as long as he was. Yes, because he's a black man, but also because he was not another good old boy. Not at all white guys are good old boys, but when I was in D.C., I went to a restaurant, and D.C. is a very political city, of course, Washington, D.C. And in the restaurant had all the presidents, and Barack Obama is the 44th president. And it was all these old white guys. And then this one of the black, and it's like, that's just amazing. To me, one thing that every day just boggles my mind is, in my opinion, Barack Obama was extremely just classy.
Totally.
Just, like he was just.
Oh yeah.
I'm never amazing. Yeah. Just
so well spoken.
Proper spoken. Yeah.
Oh,
and then they have this friggin', I don't know this idiot come in and I'm very presidential. I just can't. The contrast, not as in a black man and a white man, but the personalities.
Oh yeah.
It's like, how did that come to this?
Yeah.
So this actually makes me believe that anything is possible now. So, as long as these protests keep going on, and people who say, I pledge to no longer let these sit by and watch racism, or turn a left. Turn an blind eye.
Yeah.
As long as these things start to happen, and laws are changed and whatever, I think we actually have a chance. It was one thing that I think that is not good is, these statues of these men who own slaves, that they're tearing them down. I think they should be taken down,
flag,
but not destroyed. I think they should be all put in like maybe in a museum or something where,
to
call it what you want, museum of hate, museum of our wicked past or whatever, but put them not up on these 16-foot risers so that we're looking up at them. Put them like, because some of these guys were like 2 feet tall.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong, but like put them in a room where you can just walk amongst them, look at them, and it's
part of our history.
Because if we erase that, we're doomed for it to happen again.
Yeah.
Not in our generation, but on down the line.
Yeah.
So,
I know it's an interesting. Is there that desire to just erase it and just get rid of it, and maybe it kind of didn't happen, or a little bit, or whatever.
No, it happened. It happened.
Yeah.
But it's like, let's
still
put it in its place.
Yeah. I mean, I lived in Kentucky, as I told you on the phone that day, and lived there for 4.5 years, early 90s, and I was pretty shocked to go from London, Ontario, which is sort of this whatever conservative town or whatever it was, and just kind of like, I was playing tennis, and I got a tennis scholarship.
Cool.
I got a tennis
That's
scholarship
right. That's right. That's right.
University down there, and I just went down, and it on the outset it looks very like, it's like, oh cool, oh nice, these people are nice, and and then you start to you get to know a lot of people, because I joined a fraternity, and I just whatever.
You're an outgoing, pleasant.
Met a lot of people, right? You just sort of meet people, and you start learning the ways in which people are being down there. The undercurrent. You're hearing words, and you're hearing things, and people the hate or whatever it is, racism, and it's just like, oh man, that's messed up. That's like, I remember challenging people and being like, why are you being like that?
Yeah, and it's the same on the other.
Where did you learn that?
Yeah, it's the same on the other side. I mean, if I was ever in a group of black men, and the white guy came by, and anybody, it's like, no, what do you like? You don't take it and times it by 10. we got to learn from our mistakes on both sides.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to say that, okay, well, let's just hate white people. My parents instilled that in me. I refuse to take on the habits of the people who oppress the average person.
Yeah.
And that is just by ignoring them and expecting for them to have a good life with no tools, with no assistance, I've heard people say, why are black people so angry? Why? Well, I was an Irishman, right? Like I know, like, Irish people and Scottish people. I identify a lot with. When I was younger, the Scottish and Irish kids, because they told me, oh, we're pretty much black too, because in England,
level of opportunity, they weren't given the same level of opportunity.
Yeah. So it's a very interesting thing, but I'm really glad that this, it's like the world has been shaken.
Yeah. We needed it.
We sure did. Yeah.
It's and again, I don't want to go back and say that there was even a huge number of people that were directly racist, but there was like the old boys or that were like that, and I just remember going like, like it made me kind of just do the double take of like, what is that, and just and again approaching them just
good on you.
Well, it was weird. As I told you on the phone, like I went down there and there was black fraternities and white fraternities. There was black bars and white bars. There was, black pageants and white pageants. And this is in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Like that, even that was kind of separate then. And I just kind of was like, I guess that's the way it is or whatever. Like I didn't really know any better. And but it still made me, I definitely, because I'm a sensitive person, so I feel it deeply.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that. That's a good. I agree with that. I feel. I don't just see. I hear. And I was just like, there's, and I was like, it's deep, and you can see that. I could see that it was just taught. It was just taught to them, and again they accept it, and so that's, that's the world that we live in. That people, it's a choice. Yeah,
I mean, it truly is a choice.
Like, where does that come from? It's from listening to, learning words from their parents.
Yeah. I mean, thank God there's as many races as there are. Imagine how boring it would be if it was all just one color. Seriously, think about it. I was playing cards the other night, and then the thought that went into my brain was, imagine if there was only one suit in a card deck. How boring would cards be?
Yeah.
At least there's 4.
Yeah.
Like then you can get on with the game.
Yeah. I'm like, if you want to be a racist, fine, be a racist, but you don't get to eat no damn Italian food.
Yeah.
No more Chinese food. Definitely no more Jamaican food. No, what is it? Euros. No steak and potatoes or wherever it is where you're from, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's like with reading, like.
Yeah.
You can't go to you don't get to go to Cancun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't go to Switzerland. You can't go to
Jamaica.
You can't go to Jamaica. You can't go to Germany. You gotta stay in your
zone. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
That's where if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane. Don't.
If you're gonna be a racist, be like a racist.
Yeah.
Because I don't get it.
Because how many people some of my heroes are like people like Eddie Murphy and like Dave Chappelle, and I'm sure you watched the documentary on Last Dance, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Just like it's freaking blowing my mind to see the level of what these heroes of mine have been doing and just enjoying their entertainment and just I don't know, but I feel like there are races that then would like an Eddie Murphy, but and then they turn and say a bad word or they're racist.
As soon as he misses a foul shot,
Yeah.
It's that, it's that.
It's an odd kind of like, I'm